What's going on, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome back to a brand new Atlantean Mermail deck profile, of course, updated and ready to go for the new ban list we have. And obviously we know that Firewall Dragon is gone, and of course Called by the Grave has come back to 3. So I'm very, very happy to bring you guys a brand new going second build of Mermail. Continue on the trend of the last build that I uploaded about 2 weeks ago, and I'm updating it now so soon because of course the new ban list had come out. I was expected to come out a little later, but it is here now, and here we are with an updated list once again. And as continuing the trend, like I said before, of a going second build, very, very little link spam with this build. No Gumblar, I'm not playing Tomahawk, things of that nature. If you were looking for a build like that, this is not that. I feel like that build is way too linear, always trying to spam for Gumblar, and I've been playing those types of builds before Firewall get hit. I've been playing it for months, and then after Goblin got hit, I still played it that way. And I'm just kind of bored of playing it. I kind of want to go back to playing it in a bit of a different playstyle, kind of like before all of the links and stuff. Obviously, still with some links, because like any deck, you kind of have to play some links in if you're going to be trying to go into the extra deck a lot. So we just still have some links in here, but we got some Syncos, Ixies, Fusions, all that stuff to work with in the main deck, or in the extra deck. And of course, non-Sekka build. This is a non-Sekka build, I should point out. So we're playing some spells and traps, not traps, but spells. So keep that in mind. Very, very non-linear playstyles compared to some of the other builds. And I know you can still U-Link. I know you can Gumblar for 6. Those builds don't interest me. They might be better for sure, but I don't care to play that. So we're just gonna move on from that subject. But of course, as always, guys, you know we're sponsored by Imperium Duelist. And on the deck today, we are rocking on this Mermail deck these beautiful parallel sleeves. This nice prismatic effect. I believe they're called the parallel sleeves though on their website, in green. And we're rocking the brand new Sandstorm effect sleeves here on this Link Karibo, and they of course are on all the rest of the extra deck. Very, very nice looking sleeves. If you want to pick some up for yourself, you can by checking out the links in the description. And of course, this beautiful 2-player cloth playmat, super, super soft. Millennium playmat from Imperium Duelist as well. If you want to pick that up, you can. In the link in the description, head over to the website and use that code WinterKill to save 10% on future purchases. Helps you guys save a little money, and of course helps support me in the process, which of course is a win-win. And if you aren't sold on this playmat yet, actually, they're coming out with a brand new tour guide themed playmat, and I should be having it pretty soon. I cannot wait to show it to you guys. If you aren't sold on this one, you might be sold on the next one, because it is a beautiful, beautiful playmat. Another cloth playmat coming out from Imperium. So without further ado, we'll get right into the profile, though. We have triple Neptibus, the Atlantean Prince. So, of course, we're still playing Neptibus post-list. Obviously, nothing has changed. I don't think we'll ever play any less than 3 of this card, unless it does get hit in the future, which I don't foresee. So 3 Prince, of course, 3 Dragoons, and then we have 2 copies of Infantry and 1 copy of Marksman. I was playing a 1-in-1 ratio and playing an Upstart instead, but I've kind of felt the Upstart might be counterintuitive to our whole try to OTK strategy. So 2 Infantry and 1 Marksman working very, very well, because I found like playing 1-in-1, your Neptibus kind of late game is dead because you have not enough targets to send and add off of it. So it's just like a really dead target to add to your hand late game. So 2-in-1 is what I like playing at the moment. That about wraps it up for the Atlantean engine. We'll now go into the Mermail engine, starting with 3 Mermail Abyss Megalo. Of course, main play starter most of the time, gets all your discards activated in Grave. And we also have 3 Mermail Abyss Teus as well, one of the best Mermails in the entire deck. So many good combos with him, Diva, and Prince and Dragoons. So many good combos. And then we have some other Mermails here. We have Pike, Gund, playing a Dined, and also playing 1 copy of Lyn. So we're playing 4 other smaller Mermails: Pike, Gund, Dine, and Lyn. I usually just play Pike and Gund. Thought about playing 2 Pike, 2 Gund, but the added utility that Dine and Lyn add to this build, especially for Synchro and Link plays and plays with Summon Sorceress, these cards are actually pretty unique when combined with another engine that we're playing here that we haven't played in quite some time. So keep that in mind. So that is the Mermail and Atlantean engines. Now move on to the other monsters in the deck, consisting of Deep Sea Diva and, of course, Mooling Glacia. Cannot forget these 2 cards, pretty much a staple in any Mermail deck. And then moving forward, we have the Destroido engine. Engine we used to play probably a while back. I still really love this engine because there's so many cool plays that you can do with it, and especially since when you use the Yazi play, you can summon out Mermail, and this card allows for crazy synchro plays, crazy link plays. It even can help with Xyz plays too if you use all 3 of the tokens and make him a level 4. That combined with Dragoons or an instant fusion play can make for Dweller or Synchros or anything like that. Very awesome card. Mermail is, I love playing it. Love the Destroido engine and the utility when going first or even second, especially when combined, or going second I should say, but it's still really viable because we are playing the Summon Source engine, so you can use this card going first if you have to, because you can still pop the card that you summon to their side of the field with Summon Sorceress to be able to activate Yazi to get Mermail out, and that's one of the reasons I'm playing Summon Sorceress still in the extra deck. Might not be playing it for all the link spam stuff, but just to make this engine a bit more viable when having to go first. Then moving on, we have 2 copies of Aqua Spirit because more link fodder, synchro fodder, and Xyz fodder is always not too bad to have. And then last but not least, 1 copy of Fishborg Launcher. Level 1 tuner, and it says if you have a monster or monsters in your graveyard other than this card, and all of them are water, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, and if you do, banish it when it leaves the field. This card cannot be used as a synchro material monster except for the synchro summon of a water monster, and you can only use this effective Fishborg Launcher once per turn. I was playing this card at 2, decided to cut it down to 1 because I didn't want to see it too much. I wanted to see it at select times. It is 1-for-1able. So that is nice if you want to use it for quick synchro plays. This and like Teus or Megalo gets you right into White or Whale, which is very nice because that card literally helps you just slam on people when you have to go second. Puts out so much damage. It's a field nuke when it hits the field for your opponent. All attack position monsters and stuff. This card I really do like. I like playing it at 1. The only time it does conflict is when you have certain extra deck monsters in grave that aren't water. So that's why it's always important to get them out of grave first and then make more plays so you don't have to worry about that confliction happening at some point. So that's it for all the monsters, about 28 monsters, and I believe I have 12 spells here. So for the spells, we have 3 copies of Called by the Grave. Definitely maxing this out now that it is back at 3 100%. Hand traps do a lot of damage to this deck, so you definitely want to do all that you can to counteract them. I know I'm not playing any hand traps in this current build. Some people probably won't understand, but I just don't want to have to draw into hand traps because I've tested this build 3 streams in a row now for countless hours, and I've had hand traps in, had them out, had gamma seals in and out, and it seems like it just plays so much better without having to rely on non-combo piece cards like Ash, Valor, etc. Gamma seal. They just ruin the flow of the deck, and I would rather just save those for a side deck. But feel free to play those in your build if you do not agree with my choice to not play them. 2 copies of Moray Agreed. Now, I usually play this at 3, but I'm playing 2 right now because top decking this card late game is absolutely terrible. Having a water in hand that you can't really do much with, and then drawing this card is terrible. Drawing this card off of this card is terrible. There's really no other better draw options, and like playing Second Light forces you to have to play all these other engines like Undyne, which I'm opting not to play because it literally adds nothing to this build, especially when we aren't playing Link Spam. And Undyne is just adding more bricks, and like adding the Swap Frog engine is more bricks like Ronin Totem. Adding the Nimble engine adds more bricks, so I wanted this build to have as little engine requirement stuff in it as possible, and I wanted to cut down on Moray of Greed. Being also a brick as well because it can brick sometimes, and sometimes you don't even want to use this card because like your hand is already good enough, and you like the only waters in your hand might be Teus Dragoons. You don't want to use Moray of Greed at that point. So like I just want to minimize the amount of times that this card can be bad. So get that out of the way. 2 copies of Instant Fusion. We have 1 target. It is Mud Dragon of the Swamp, but I do want to see this card sometimes, but of course not all the times. Yeah, Mud Dragon of the Swamp is a pretty nice card. It's level 4, which fits in great for a lot of, of course, Xyz plays. It can fit in great for a lot of Synchros because level 4 is a nice even number, especially with like Aqua Spirit and like a level 1 tuner or a level 2 tuner like Diva for Coral Dragon. Then you can Synchro climb from there. This card is just pretty nice, and especially since Mud Dragon the Swamp is such a good card when having to go against Striker. That your whole field literally just can't be targeted while Mud Dragon's on the board, so very powerful card. Soul Charge for 1 of, Raigeki for a 1 of, Monster Reborn for a 1 of, and then we also have 1 for 1 as a 1 of, and Salvage as a 1 of. This last card slot was kind of like a toss-up. It could have been Upstart, it could have been Dark Hole, it could have been a third Aqua Spirit, could have been many other things, maybe a second Gund and Cutting Lind or something, I don't know. But like Salvage, I just wanted to play just because this card does give you a lot of free reign to play a little recklessly, and you can just add back more materials back to your hand to make more plays later on in that turn. So I do like Salvage a lot. Now we'll go into the extra deck. We have for the links to start 1 Link Karibo. Now I'm not playing super heavy links. I'm only playing 6 links in the extra deck, and the rest else are Xyz, Synchro, and Fusion. But I just wanted to play the absolute mandatory links that I had to. So we have Link Karibo, Repper Dokas, of course, for Summon Sorceress, 1 Mastar Boy, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Summon Sorceress, and last but not least, 1 Star User Skull Dread. Now, these 4 here are pretty self-explanatory, but for the longest time, I didn't think I wanted to play these. But I'm convinced now that this was like the missing piece when trying to decide what I should play for this build. Because Summon Sorceress helps you fix a lot of your fields. It helps you make your Destroido Mermail engine live turn 1, because you can give them something for your Yazi to pop and allow you to summon Mermail, which is such a powerful card. Like, just summoning out Mermail just puts you in such a huge position. The token generation and the synchro plays you can make from it, and it's just such a good card. And you want to be able to get to it as fast as possible, and this is an easier way to do it. It's just a great engine overall. I think I didn't want to play it at first, but I just think it's just worth playing at this point. Xyz, we have 1 Dweller, of course, the Red Eyes Flare, 1 Abyss Gaios. This Gaios, I was debating on making this Draco Sack, which honestly I might switch it to Draco Sack at some point. I did order a Draco Sack, it's just not here yet. This could be a Draco Sack. I think the Red Eyes Flare Metal is non-negotiable because this card just wins games. I've had turns where my opponent literally has to burn like 5,000 of their own life points to be able to make a play, or 3,000 to 5,000 just to get rid of this, and then you end up killing them next turn because they have so little life points. Dweller, of course, non-negotiable. Like, stopping graveyard effects against a lot of decks, it's huge. But Gaios, I don't know. This card helps for going first boards because it gives you that sort of negation presence. But Draco Sack kind of does the same thing because of the protection effect. But Draco Sack, the reason I'd like to play him is he does allow for synchro plays because he does summon 2 level 3 tokens. And of course, there are link plays involved there as well. And of course, the spot removal that Draco Sack does offer, which is pretty nice, and always has been, I guess. Now we'll go into the synchros. We have 1 Coral Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Yazi, 1 White Aura Whale, and 1 Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Now, these 5 synchros, took me a long time to figure out which synchros I wanted to play. Brian Ack's been in and out, Tatsunoko's been in and out, F.A. Dawn Dragster's been in and out. I think that might be it for synchros that have been in and out, but like, there's been a lot of decisions, in trying to come up with synchros I want to play. Black Rose is huge because Yazi, or Destroido, makes this card instantly, and there's so many cases where a Black Rose is A, unexpected, and B, very effective. Yazi, of course, for the Mermail play. White Aura Whale just wins games via damage. Trish is just good because it's Trish. I wanted to play Brian Ack just because I wanted to kind of like play some more old school cards in the extra deck. But Coral Dragon, very, very nice in the fact that he discards stuff, gets your effects activated. He's a tuner for synchro plays to go into, like this or this or this. And when he's sent to the graveyard, he draws. So, like, it's such a good card all around. And I just didn't think Brian Ack had as much utility as Coral Dragon did. So that's why I'd opted to play him. So that is it for the synchros. Now we'll go into the fusions. And, of course, if you heard it earlier, you know which one it is. It is Mud Dragon of the Swamp. 2 monsters with the same attribute is how you make it, but we're of course not going to summon it that way. But says your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card with card effects. And once per turn quick effect, you can declare 1 attribute. This card becomes that attribute until the end of the turn. So, going in Striker, a lot of the times they will give you that extra zone. And I'm just bringing up Striker as an example because it's the best deck of the format, arguably, and this is how this deck has that matchup against it, playing this version. Instead of just like a Gumblar loop version, obviously you go first against them if you win the dice roll. You can try to loop them through hand traps, but, you know, etc., etc. That's a different topic, I guess, but they give you that extra zone with Shizuka usually, so you can put this into that zone and then use your other zone for Mistar Boy, or use it for, you know, a Summon Sorcerer's play, or anything else, and then they literally can't kill you, and they can't stop and disrupt any of your plays because you have this on the field. And they can't even Widow Anchor this because it's water, and they can't target with a card effect. So like, seeing Instant Fusion against Striker with a good hand is pretty much a guaranteed auto win. And I know a lot of people say Gamma Seal is, but like, here's the thing with Gamma Seal. Playing a build like this, if I Gamma Seal them, I have to try and actually win the game via damage. I'm not just gonna loop them or whatever. Which I guess at that point you're going second and trying to loop, so it really doesn't make that much sense. But in any case, Gamma Seal I don't like, because eventually you have to clear the Gamma Seal off their field. There's no unbreakable board you can really make with a deck like this, in my opinion, unless you're trying to make a U-Link, but U-Links that this deck make today aren't really that great. They're kind of subpar, and I feel like could be easily broken by a Striker board with like an Afterburner or Widow Anchor or something. But Gamma Seal, you have to clear it off the field, and then once you clear the Gamma Seal, it's sort of like, now I can just use my Widow Anchor again and stop your damage from coming through. So Mud Dragon, in my opinion, is like the alternative for it, because you summon this, and then they just can't. Your Diva just goes in, and if they have an Ash, you're like called by or whatever. Your Destroido just goes off. Like, well, Destroido isn't a water monster, but that really doesn't matter too much. And I guess if you really needed to, you could change the attribute to Dark if you really need your Destroido to go off. And then at that point, you just kind of win the game. But yeah, that's it for this profile. Innovative profile, non-linear, non-link spammy build. I wanted this build to be different than all the other builds that I knew would be coming out post-list. I know that a lot of people thought Firewall would kind of stop the U-Link and shenanigan and link spam shenanigan, but of course it didn't. I don't really want to continue to play it that way, so we're playing it this way from now on, in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out Imperium Duelist if you haven't yet. Sleeves, new sleeves. They have the Sandstorm sleeves, and they also have the new Galaxy sleeves as well. You can check that out again at their website. And a new playmat coming soon. This is their latest one currently, but they're sending me a new one. It's a tour guide themed mat. Can't wait to show you guys that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. As always, WinnerKill signing out. We'll see you in the next one.